We have our teenage ladies kicking off the day here at North Park. All 20 athletes taking the field to take on the aerobic yoke.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the North Park at the Alliant Energy Center. I'm Ted Ramey, joined by Justin Judkins on color, and we'll also be checking in with Nick Zielinski on the competition floor. Let's take a look at these standings. Now, after 3 events, Justin, we see Olivia Sulek right there at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, followed by Paulina Harrow and Leah Mallow.
We had a very good day there in day number 1. Olivia Sulek at 30 points in the lead right now. We see second year in this age group, Macy Damgar there, rounding out the top 10. But again, this is a field of 20 right now as we get set here to start competition number 4 here. And Justin, what are these athletes getting into?
Well, they have 4 rounds of a 300-meter run, 4 rope climbs, and a 44-foot yoke carry. The weight on the yoke is going to be 245 pounds. Then each round, the number of rope climbs will descend by 1 rep.
And again, there is a time cap of 20 minutes. Let's take a look at our lane assignments to see where our athletes will be lining up for event number 4. We do see Leah Mallow and Olivia Sulek there in lanes number 9 and 10 there at the bottom of your screen. Again, you're going to be wanting to keep your eye on them as they are 2 of the names towards the top of the leaderboard. And Justin, is this one of those ones where you're going to want to keep an eye on your competition, or is it just go at your own pace?
Well, it's a longer event. There's a 20-minute time cap, and there's a lot of revolutions, right? They're running around, they're climbing the ropes, and so definitely you're going to be keeping an eye on some of your competitors next to you.
And again, there is Leah Mallow right there on the center of your screen in the pink top in second place after a quality day number 1. Now let's pause for the start.
10 seconds. Stand by.
Day 2 of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games are underway for the teen girls 14-15 division, and they are starting off with this 300-meter run.
I'll be interested to see how these athletes take on that rope climb. I think that in this event, that will really be the separator. And I was so impressed with Olivia Sulek yesterday, coming in, this is her first games, and really jumping in and getting out to a pretty good sized lead.
Now we take a look at these competitors. You talked about it yesterday, Justin, the idea of this being the active rest.
Yeah, I really think that this run is something that these athletes are obviously quite adept at. This is an integral part of any athlete's training, right? So they will have done a lot of running coming into the games. And I think this will be a point where you're just going to kind of shake out those arms, get ready for that rope climb, and actively recover. Now, this is going to be the separator, I think, coming up next, and that'll be these 4 rope climbs. So I think that you can't hesitate on these rope climbs. So when you finish that run, you've got to get right on it. And then especially in between rope climbs. This first round, they've got to complete 4 rope climbs. And I don't think that you can stay on the ground a lot, shaking out the arms and looking at the rope. You've got to keep climbing, and that's what's going to separate you from your competition.
Again, they're starting out with 4 rope climbs before they get on to the yoke carry.
And that's a 15-foot rope climb. Obviously, you see these ladies using their legs, and they're certainly allowed to do that. But if you do this right, you're going to be able to turn this rope climb into not an upper body exercise, but really a leg exercise. So you're using the biggest muscles in your body to climb that rope more efficiently.
That is Olivia Sulek, center screen. She is our overall leader after day number 1. We already see one competitor making their way out to the yoke.
So 245 pounds on that yoke. I really don't think, Ted, that this will present much of a problem for these ladies. It does take a lot of core stability there. The one thing that you don't want is you don't want to let that yoke start swinging. If it starts swinging, man, it gets you way off balance, and then you got to set it down and reset, and you don't want to have that happen because it wastes valuable time.
And that is Leah Mallow in the lead right now. She was in third place after day number 1. Third is where she finished worldwide in the Open in the 14-15 division. She was second overall in the online qualifier. And it looks like she has about a 20-yard lead on the field right now.
So they just did, and this is what I said, this is what I'm talking about with the active recovery, right? You see the athlete there in the blue shaking out her arms. They just completed 4 rope climbs. They did a lot of upper body work there. They did a lot of core stabilization with that yoke. And so this is the point where they can just kind of relax, get into a rhythm, get their head wrapped around, okay, this next round I've got to do 3 rope climbs and I want to make them fast.
The bottom of your screen, that is Leah Mallow. Third after day number 1, leading here event number 4 for the teen girls 14-15 age group. A rope and yoke. And she's holding on to that lead that she had as she heads back to the interior. There's Klinthaus.
Now this second round, they must complete 3 rope climbs. And obviously they have to stay in the lane so that each lady runs a complete 300 meters.
And Ilya Klinthaus there is our leader.
And look how high she's bringing her feet up onto the rope. She's really getting a lot of bite on each section that she's climbing. And that's smart and a good technique. Really bringing those legs up and then extending all the way up and standing up straight and tall. She is getting as much bite out of each chunk of that rope as she can.
3 rope climbs this time around on her second trip through the circuit here at the rope and yoke. Five minutes gone by, 15 minutes remain to the 20-minute cap. Klinthaus is our leader. It's her third of 3 rope climbs on this, the second round.
She is doing a great job on that rope climb. Each bite that she takes, the way she sets her feet and pulls is exact same for every pull. The very, very top of your screen in the blue, that's Ilya. And each athlete was measured yesterday, Ted, for the yoke. Obviously, that center of gravity is really low on that yoke. And so you just want it off the ground, but you don't want it you want it to be high enough that it's not going to catch as you carry it down there.
And we see athletes making their way back out to the running portion. We see Klinthaus making her way out again, still in the lead. There's Klinthaus, our event leader right now. There's Mallow. Six minutes, 15 seconds gone by. 20-minute cap here. The rope and yoke. Event number 4 for the teen 14-15 description. You see there Mallow at the bottom of your screen right now. She was third after day number 1.
She actually finished that first round behind Ilya Klinthaus and was able to overtake her in that round of 3 rope climbs.
So Mallow in the pink top, left of your screen, about to make her way back into the North Park as we approach the 7-minute mark.
She's already got her chalk in her hands, so she doesn't have to waste time chalking up at the bottom of that rope. Then she'll set it on her chest piece. Watch. And this is just a smart technique, right? Like every second that you can save is going to help you. So she set it on the ground. She'll probably pick it up on the next run. See, no hesitation there, Ted. I love to see that. She just attacked that rope as soon as she got underneath it.
So Mallow quickly making her way up on the third round. Just 2 rope climbs this time before going back out to the yoke carry.
And no hesitation in between. So very well coached. She's putting together an incredible event here. Make sure she touched that cross beam, and now it's onto that yoke carry. And that has not presented a problem to her yet. So I don't anticipate that it will now.
So Mallow is our leader here. Event 4 for the teen girls 14-15 age group division. And she was 3rd after day number 1.
You see that core starting to break down just a little bit. This is her 3rd yoke carry.
Here's Sulek, who was our overall leader after day number 1.
She's fast on that yoke carry.
8 minutes, 30 seconds gone by.
Ted, it looks like Sulek made up a little bit of ground there on Mallow with that yoke carry.
And that is Sulek there in the blue top, making her way back to the run portion. Trying to reel in Mallow, who was the leader. And this is Sulek again, making her way back to the 300-meter run. You see Sabatini there in the pink top. And this is Sulek out in front right now on the final round.
These are fast times, Ted. I'm impressed on this. I mean, there was a 20-minute time cap on this event. These ladies aren't even getting close to this. The leaders aren't.
Here's Mallow making her way back in. Final rope climb.
Missed with her foot grab there, but quickly recovered. Yeah, I really think the thing that helped her jump out to the lead was her efficiency on those rope climbs.
So Mallow is in the home stretch here, looking to take event number 4 for the teen girls 14-15 age group.
Oh.
Competition from behind, but Mallow takes it. The rope and yoke goes to Mallow.
Wow, she really needed a good event number 4 here. Sulek also fought hard, came in closely behind Mallow.
So Sulek, as she came on strong, she did look very good on those yoke carries, as you were alluding to. But she finished just about a second ahead, or a second behind, I should say, of where Mallow came in. It was Boranensdottir, who we just saw come in.
Boy, those top 3 and 4 girls, they were just within seconds of each other there.
Here's Paige Powers coming in. That's Maddie Espinoza coming across as well. Hannah Morochik coming in 12:06, we see. Coming up on 12:25 gone by, 20-minute cap here. Rope and yoke here at the North Park Teenage Girls 14-15 event number 4. It's Emma Spath coming in. She'll finish. It's about 12:42. Venikova there on the right of your screen, followed by Alina Haro, who is in second place after day number 1.
Venikova is doing a good job on that yoke, just keeping the bottoms really parallel to the ground and not letting it swing and getting away from her.
It's Olivia Villasenor coming in.
You always feel those yoke carries later on in the day, just in your core. You twist to grab something, you're like, oh yeah, I did a lot of work there earlier today.
Well, I think that's the question. Day 1 across the board was a burner for all these athletes. How are they feeling now so early in the morning on day 2 as we take a look at Macy Damgard?
Well, and you know, they're young, so they've got that as an advantage to them. But yesterday was a really rigorous first day for these athletes. I'm sure that they're well coached enough. They wouldn't be here. So they probably spent a lot of time in recovery last night and doing the things that they need to be able to hit the ground running this morning. But yeah, I'm sure some of them are feeling the work that they did yesterday, and it's going to keep piling up as the competition continues.
Damgard coming in. She was 16th in the 14-15 division here at the games in 2017. She comes in 14:32.60. There's Sonia Studnicka in the pink top making her way to the yoke carry. Coming up on the 15-minute mark. Studnicka, I believe we just saw Hybeck coming in as well. Studnicka was in 15th after day number 1.
Yeah, you can see her grabbing her lower back. I don't know if there's an injury or if it's just the pounding that part of your body takes when you're carrying a heavy yoke.
That is Gallegos coming in. Plenty of time left on the clock, like you were alluding to, Justin. Some very fast times.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they test these workouts to get an approximate time, but these athletes blew that out of the water, so it's very, very impressive. I think that they climbed rope a lot faster than some people anticipated, and they were linking them together. I was really impressed with Leah Mallow there, the way that she was linking those rope climbs together. There really wasn't much hesitation before each rope climb, and really good technique, bringing her feet as high up on the rope as she can, as close to her hands as she could possibly get them, and taking big chunks out of each rep.
All right, so we see Leah Mallow, who was 3rd after day number 1, coming in with a big finish here in event 4 in day 2. She gets the event win, followed by Olivia Sulek, who was our overall leader after day number 1. So she's staying right towards the top of the leaderboard as well. And now let's go down the floor with Nick Zielinski, who's with our event winner, Leah Mallow. Nick?
Leah, quite a performance there in event 4. You came out flying. What was your strategy going into this event?
My strategy was to go fast on the rope climb, going fast on the way down. So it was fun, and it was the first time I tried the yoke, so it went good.
It went very well. You competed here last year. How are you relying on last year's experience to get you through this year?
It gave me an idea of like the setup and like the warm-up area and all those stuff, so it was good.
Very good job, Leah. We'll see you in event 5.
Thank you.
Again, that is Leah Mallow, who was 9th in the 2017 games in the 14-15 decision. And let's take a look back at the highlights from this one, Justin. And you talked about it from Mallow. You saw really quick transitions, and you talked about the active rest on the run.
Yeah, Clean House led things from the very, very beginning. I was really impressed with her rope climbs. Look how high she's getting her feet up there and how close they are to her hands. She was strong on the yoke carry here, but I think it was the rope climbs and the combination of the run that allowed Mallow to get ahead of Clean House after that first round. And after that first round, it was all Mallow. Look how deliberate she is, how steady she is on that yoke carry, but really, and she talked about this in her interview, coming down that rope really fast and then not waiting in between reps really helped jump her out to the lead there, and then a race to the finish, finishing just seconds ahead of Olivia Sulek.
Sulek was there on the left, just about a second behind. All right, so event number 4 for the teen girls 14-15 division goes to Leah Mallow in her second CrossFit Games appearance. But right there is Olivia Sulek as well, who was our leader after day number 1. And she starts off day number 2 strong, coming in second in event number 4 here, the first of day 2 of competition at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games for the teen girls competition. Good morning, everyone, and hello from Madison, Wisconsin, the home of the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. We're inside the North Park at the Alliant Energy Center. I'm Ted Ramey alongside Justin Judkins and Nick Zielinski on the floor as we get set for event number 4 of the boys 14-15 division. Let's get a look at these standings after day number 1 of the competition. And Tudor Magda right there at the top, Justin.
Yeah, so impressed with his day 1 yesterday. He won event number 1, he won event number 2, and then followed that up in event number 3 with a 10th place finish.
We also see Nolan Pedrick there in 2nd. Keep an eye on Reese Cooksey in 5 as well, and Cole Martinez in 9. And Justin, what are these athletes getting themselves into on an early morning here in Madison?
It's going to be 4 rounds of a 300-meter run. They're going to start with 4 rope climbs and then a 44-foot yoke carry. Then each round, the number of rope climbs will descend in number by 1.
There is a time cap of 20 minutes here for event number 4, rope and yoke. Let's get a look at the lane assignments. See Cole Martinez in lane number 6, Ethan Gush in lane number 7, Reese Cooksey in 8, Christian Gallagher in 9, Tudor Magda, our overall leader, he is going to be in lane number 10. In 2nd, Nolan Pedrick, he's going to be in lane number 11. Also want to keep your eye on Tute Arete Rauna Lamont, as he was in 2nd overall in the online qualifier. Let's take a look at Magda right now, our overall leader after a good day 1. There's Pedrick, he's in 2nd place after the first day of competition. Again, we're getting set for event number 4 for the Team Boys 14 and 15 division. And day number 2 is underway for the Team Boys 14-15 division here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. And we see them attacking this 300-meter run with a bit of gusto at the start.
Well, expect the run to go fast. It's only 300 meters. In a lot of events or workouts that these athletes will do at their home affiliate, it'll include a 400-meter run. So just mentally knowing that it's 100 meters less than they normally used to, I think that you'll see them go fast on these runs.
But it doesn't look like these 14 and 15-year-olds are perhaps treating it like the active rest that they might want to in 2 rounds.
Yeah, in a couple rounds, you'll see them running but shaking out the arms and trying to recover while they run. But yeah, you'll see them come in hot on this run, starting on those 4 rope climbs. And I think that it's going to be the rope climbs that will separate the athletes in this event.
That's Jack Laker we see in the lead in the blue top, making his way. He's in lane number 5. The back of your screen.
Now I'm watching to see how these athletes attack this rope, because I think really if this event is going to be won, it'll be no hesitation on the rope climbs, meaning when they get in from the run, how fast can they get on the rope and up to the crossbar? Then how much time do they take in between each rope climb? So they've got to be really efficient and attack these rope climbs if they want to win this event. And then they get a chance to, I know it sounds funny, but actually recover on that run.
Again, they're starting off with 4 rope climbs. With each round, it'll go down to 3, 2, and then 1.
And what I like to see here is how high an athlete can get their feet. How close can Magda get his feet to his hands? What that does is it gives him bigger chunks on each pole, so he has less poles for each rope climb.
And we see Magda making his way out in lane number 10. We see Martinez. Laker coming out as well. Laker was the first to the ropes. Looks like he's going to be one of the first 5.
So it's a 44-foot yoke carry. There's 300 pounds on the yoke, so 300 pounds on their back. And the big thing here, Ted, is it's so much stabilization with their core, right? You don't want that thing swinging around. That center of gravity is low. It's close down by your feet. And if that thing starts swinging, it can get away from you really fast.
2 minutes, 30 seconds gone by. 2nd time the 300-meter run. And we saw Magda, overall leader, was right there at the front of the pack as they headed back to the run.
see a few of these athletes like Magda there in the green shirt and blue shorts. He's got chalk in his pockets. He was actually chalking his hands up while he ran. And it's a pretty smart strategy there.
Magda again in the lead in the dark top there on the inside. He was first in the open worldwide in the 14-15 age division, and he was also first in the online qualifier. And he is in the lead as the athletes make their way back into the North Park. This time it will be a round of 3 rope climbs before they get back to the yoke.
So how fast can they attack this rope after coming off this run? You can tell Tudor is ready, jumps right on it, takes big chunks with his feet, stands up straight and tall to try to decrease the number of pulls that he has, and no hesitation in between rope climbs. I'd love to see that.
Magda working on his second of 3 rope climbs here on this second round.
So you can actually turn this into more of a leg exercise versus a pulling and an upper body exercise, and that's what you want. You want to use those big muscles in your body versus the smaller ones in your upper body.
4:05 gone by, 20-minute cap. And there's Magda, just a few steps in the lead. And back to the 300-meter run for Magda. This is Pedrick. He was in second after day number 1 of the competition and finds himself a little bit behind the leaders at this point.
It looks like that rope climb has been a little bit of a challenge for him. And I'm not sure where. I want to watch him on this next round and see where he's kind of getting hung up on that rope climb.
That's Magda there, dark top, blue trunks, in the lead right now. He was our overall leader after day number 1. And trying to make a statement in the early goings of day number 2, event number 4, for the Team Boys 14-15 division here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games.
So 2 rope climbs on this round. Their chance of separation is decreasing just because the number of rope climbs is decreasing.
All right, Nick's got a little bit more on the floor. Nick?
Yeah, guys, getting the broad view of all 20 athletes down here, you can see everyone kind of runs the same pace. They're kind of carrying that yoke at the same pace. There's no real separator there. As you guys have touched on, though, it's those rope climbs. And that's where Tudor Magda is making his money. He's so efficient. He's so quick up the rope. He slides right down. That's where he's kind of separated himself from the pack, as Grunfeld is starting to catch up with him a little bit. But the 4 and 3 of those big sets, that's the one where you can kind of pull away. Everyone can climb a rope 1 or 2 times at the same pace, but it's that high level, those numerous rope climbs where he built his lead and continues to make his money here as he continues to stay in first place.
And you see right on your screen, Magda doing exactly what Nick was describing and making short work of those 2 rope climbs. And now he's off to the yoke carry before one final 300-meter run, 1 rope climb, and then 1 more yoke carry.
So, Ted, one thing that they did is they measured the athletes yesterday for their yoke to make sure that it was where they wanted them to be. This is not presenting much of a problem for Tudor Magda in the green shirt there. I would have, if I was his coach, I would have instructed him to raise the bottom just a little bit higher. The bottom of his yoke was barely off the ground.
Approaching the 7-minute mark in a 20-minute cap. That's Cole Martinez in the gray trunks, making his way back to the run, middle of your screen.
So these athletes are going to have, they've got 300 pounds on the yoke that they're carrying on their back. Empty, it's 245 pounds that we saw the girls attack. So we've added a little bit of weight for the boys, made it a little just a little bit more difficult. And I'll tell you, Ted, when you start getting weight on the bottom of those yokes and that starts swinging a little bit, it can get away from you fast because that's a lot of momentum there.
And that is Braden Groenveld, who has taken the lead from Tudor Magda. Groenveld was 8th after day number 1.
Jumps right up. That excellent. And look how fast his descent was. He was in control, but he descended really, really fast.
He was 15th in the open worldwide in this 14-15 division, 5th in the online qualifier. And he's on his way to take event number 4. Braden Groenveld.
See him tighten that core and brace himself as he took that yoke across the finish line. Very well done by both gentlemen, Groenveld and Magda.
And Magda comes in 2nd in the event, likely allowing him to keep hold of that number 1 ranking that he earned after quality day number 1. This is Cole Martinez coming across the line. Cole was 9th after day number 1.
Garcia Vargas taking big chunks with that rope and coming down under control, but also very quickly.
These athletes making their way out for their final yoke carry. There's Laker coming in the blue top.
There's a lot more core work going on here than what appears to the naked eye here, Ted. With that yoke, there's a lot of core stabilization with that weight.
Garcia Vargas coming in just under the 10-minute mark. Gus comes flying in just about 10-10.
You see a lot of athletes using a weight belt just to help stabilize that core.
Mazoka coming in under 10:30. Martinet coming in lane 19 as well. Again, a 20-minute cap here. Ramon Ibarra is our final competitor left in the field right now.
And I saw a few of his rope climbs earlier on in this event, and see how he's just not bringing his feet up as high as some of the athletes were. Still having no problem with it, but it was just a slower because he was having a hard time setting his feet.
The one final yoke carry for Ibarra. Again, 300 pounds overall these athletes are carrying right now. And Ibarra crumbs across under 11:30. These athletes plenty of time to spare with that 20-minute cap. There's Groenveld, who took the event here in this 14-15 division.
Yeah, he needed that after yesterday. His best finish yesterday was 5th place in event number 2. So a first place finish will earn him 100 points in that march up the leaderboard.
And there's Tudor Magda, likely star overall leader. He came in 2nd.
And Tudor Magda jumped out to the lead early on and led for most of the event. It was a fast run. You see Jack Laker taking big chunks with his rope climb there. Magda strong through those yoke carries, 300 pounds on his back. He's almost running with that 300 pounds there. Groenveld trying to chase him down, and it wasn't until the final round that Braden was able to pass up Tudor Magda. But one final rope climb was able to stay ahead of Tudor. Just a slight bobble, but fast on the descent on that rope climb, and then it was off to the races once he got underneath that yoke for the final 44-foot yoke carry.
All right, taking a look at our unofficial results, we've got Groenveld coming in at 8:39.69, just a couple seconds behind was Tudor Magda. And so Tudor Magda really having a quality start to this competition.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the work that this guy must have put in over the course of the last year. You know, last year, the 17 games, placed 9th. This year coming in hot with that, winning the online qualifier and the Open. And so very impressive.
Now we've got Nick Zielinski on the floor.
Braden, an event 4 win, kind of flew through those rope climbs. Why was it such a good event for you?
I tried the yoke out early in the warm-up area. It was moving pretty well. Rope climbs are usually my thing. The online qualifier, same thing. Rope climb workout went really well. And running's just a run. So
everybody enjoys running, right? You were in 9th place coming into today. What was your strategy coming into today to move up that leaderboard?
Just give everything I have, do the workout smart. The place is going to be what the place is going to be, and that's all I can ask for.
So far, so good. Braden Grinville, congratulations.
Thank you.
So Groenveld gets the event win here, overtaking our overall leader in the event. He was 8th after day number 1 and finds himself moving up the leaderboard. But Tudor Magda, with a quality showing, comes in 2nd overall to hold on to that lead at the top of the leaderboard. So the competition off to a hot start here in day number 2 for the Team Boys 14-15 8th Division here at the 2018 Reebok CrossFit Games. We're going to take a break, but the action